A stovetop distiller is one of the best ways to have ready purified water. And this is such a big one. It's a 5-gallon one. It is by VEVOR or VEVOR, how do you want to say it? VEVOR. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this with water first. Hi everyone, Morgan here and husband.
Hello.
He put all this together. Thank you, husband. Oh, and children are running around. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill this up with water. All right, so we're just gonna fill this up. This is a 5-gallon one. I really wanted this nice big one. They do have 3-gallon ones, and you can even DIY this setup. This whole setup was $89. We were gonna DIY a setup that basically used a teapot, and it had like coils and stuff, and kind of like this little system here. But it was, you know, it held such a small amount of water. It was like a normal teapot. You're getting the evaporation. So what we're doing now is that this is hooked up into here, and we're going to see how much we are going to get from this 5 gallons. For those that don't know, we are on a well, and our well is very high in iron. Right now we have a whole house water softener. But if that ever goes out, you know, that takes out the iron. But if that ever goes out, we're going to need some way. Like, we can have a manual pump or something to get that water out. But then after that, we still need some way to clean out that iron. Distilling is going to be the best way for that for us. And having this stovetop method, we can do it over coals, we can do it over propane, we can do it over electric, whatever is available to us. So the stovetop distiller is an ideal option for distilling. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of cold water up here on top in the coils. And that's pretty much it. I've locked the lid. I've turned on the element, and now we just wait for this to come to a complete boil. Our water is very, very cold. It's very cold well water.
It's like 39 to 30 degrees on
Yeah, so it's going to take a minute to heat up this 5 gallons here. It has taken almost an hour to get to this almost boiling point. It's 200 degrees right now. I love this temp. Ah, it's happening! Like a second after I turned it off. Yeah! Wow! That's happening so fast. Look at it. Look at the water. Look at it. Very exciting when something works. It's like we've been let down so much in our life or something. No. It's awesome. I think one of the most ideal things you could do here is actually just put the tubing in used water containers and things like that. So use gallons of water and then fill up the used gallons of water with that water and to switch it out, etc. But
the colder the water, the faster the steam will condensate in these coils to deliver out the distilled water.
so this is an out and this is an in. So ideally what you really want to do, instead of just emptying and then putting new cold water or whatever, is just trying to have some sort of cycling system in which it just constantly keeps it cool.
Radiator.
Yeah, a little radiator coolant. That's the dream. You know, snow in this case would be really handy. This right here, the fact that we know that we're gonna have to keep this cool some way, whether it's with ice or an external coolant. We found one for like 20 bucks. Something that can continually cycle and keep this cool is something that is essential to this distilling process. Because without it, it's literally just, it's not producing and it's just creating steam. Nothing is coming out at this point. And you know, because that water is now getting so hot, it's just kind of like trickling and just creating steam. Like, I shouldn't be seeing those bubbles, okay? I should just not be seeing those bubbles. It should just be having a flow of water. So despite knowing this, that doesn't deter me from this at all. There are solutions to keep this cool, and ones that we're gonna have to know in order to sufficiently run this if we ever did need distilled water. Now, in the hour and a half that I've run this, it took an hour to actually get it boiled. And then after half an hour, we got to almost 2 liters. Yeah, I'd say we're probably at a liter right now. It's like half. So we're probably at a liter right now, but it took about 30 minutes. And that's with just having to constantly cycle this and make it cooler. If you had a cycling system with this cycling the water out into your cooling system, and then it cycled back up with like probably a little pump, and we have solar generators and things like that that will be able to run that type of setup, distill all this water, and then you'll have like 5 gallons. You could do that like, you know, once a day, right? Or something like that. We also have snow that we can melt outside, that kind of thing. So we could do that in the interim. And snow, I would basically just be pre-filtering, boiling before consuming. But anything coming out of our well, we would be using this. So I'm going to have a future video coming up to where I'm going to be showing you our DIY well pump. So excited about that. I really do highly recommend this. You know, like I said, we tried the DIY method with the tiny little, you know, the tiny little teapot. And with all the supplies and everything, it was actually coming out to about $100. And this is 89 bucks. And it's got everything you need. And it's 5 gallons worth of water that you could distill. Ish, you know, a wonderful product, something that I highly, highly recommend. I'm going to put a link down below in the description. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.